Welcome to Productive Joy with Dr. Christie, where fun meets action.
Hi, friends. Welcome to Productive Joy, the recap. So we've been doing this for a couple weeks now, and I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're taking a minute to listen because today's a great day to have a great day. And this is your opportunity to go, okay, are these episodes I absolutely have to hear? And I'm going to say, yes, this week they are. Every week they are. So this week we had Brian Irwin and Kate Galli. So we'll start with Brian. Brian was a wonderful guest who's written a book called Liberating the Overworked Manager. And his whole concept is really thinking about what are our controllables, right? What can we control? And then how can we make sure that we are making a difference long term with our people? He talked about something that I think is really important, and that's the difference between time management and priority management. We all get 24 hours in a day. It's not about time management. It's about priority management. What are we letting take our time? What are we letting consume us so that we miss opportunities to do the things we really want to do? So I really like Carey Nieuwhof. Carey Nieuwhof wrote a book called At Your Best, and it is all about green, yellow, and red zones. So I'm going to give you the quick overview. I think I've done it before, but you're going to hear it again. And essentially, we have 3 zones in our day. Our green zone is somewhere around 4 to 6 hours a day. And in that time frame, that is when we're most productive. That's when we are cranking things out and doing really amazing things. It's not necessarily 4 to 6 hours consecutive, but darn it if we're not really good at what we're doing at that time. Our yellow zone is somewhere between 8 and 12 hours a day. Again, not necessarily consecutive, but this is when we should be like doing emails and sitting in meetings because we're not at our very best. We are doing well. We are functioning pretty good, but we're not necessarily crushing it. And then we have a couple red zone times. These are usually like 30-minute increments where we need to take a nap or a walk because we are just absolutely hitting a wall. Well, the problem is we don't always get to dictate our days, right? But we can control our controllables. So if we're trying to do something that requires our green zone best in a red zone time, it takes like 5 times as long. And in the yellow zone, it takes like 3 times as long. Why would we waste that kind of time? And how ridiculous, because I know I don't have enough time in the day. So I need to prioritize my day to make sure that my green zone stuff happens during my green zone. My yellow zone stuff is when I'm checking email and doing meetings. And then my red zone time, I really do walk away because we've all tried to push through a red zone. And what happens is we just keep repeating the same sentence. We keep typing the same thing. We keep getting stuck. And now we've wasted an hour and we didn't have an hour to waste. So I think Brian really talks about the ability to prioritize and the control that we actually do have over our energy and our time, which I thought was really great. It's all about efficiency, right? So it's also about thinking about, I'm gonna take us back to Kelsey Stevens for a minute. So Kelsey was like episode 10 or something like that, but she talked about the difference between glass balls and rubber balls and that we're juggling both all the time, but we need to protect our glass balls fiercely because if we drop those, they will break. Our rubber balls will bounce. So missing a meeting is usually a rubber ball. If it is a major meeting with the CEO of 3 different companies and it's going to cause millions of dollars worth of revenue, that's a glass ball, right? So it's not always family versus work. We have glass balls in both spaces, and we just need to be thoughtful about how we're handling our time in our day. The other fabulous guest that I had this week was Kate Galli. So Kate comes to us all the way from Australia, and she is a vegan health coach who has figured out how to take good care of herself. And she talked a lot about the fact that leaders often don't, right? They might be really, really great in business, but they're not taking care of their physical being, which means that they're not able to be at their best. And that creates all kinds of issues, right? So we want to be thoughtful about taking care of ourselves first. Her closing remark I thought was good. She said, you need to have the courage to live a life aligned to your values. Do I always do that? Probably not. Should I always do that? Absolutely. So I am an Enneagram 7. I know we've talked about different personality traits on here and different personality types. There are lots of them. But when you think about the Enneagram, if you're an Enneagram 7, you are an enthusiastic optimist. That pretty much describes me. I mean, hi, I have a podcast named Productive Joy, right? I am all about the fun and I don't live in my feelings very well. So what happens is I skim over the whole, how am I feeling right now and what's going on right now? The other thing I skim over is the stage of life I'm in because I am thinking about the next one. So Jason and I have twins. They are almost 24. They'll be at 24 in about a week. And gosh, they're brilliant and they're amazing and they're wonderful. And my number one regret as a parent is that I didn't live in the moment they were in because I was too busy thinking about the next one. So every year for Christmas, we would get them the thing that they really needed the following year. We got them bikes a year early. We got them computers a year early. When they were crawling, we were wishing they were walking. When they were walking, we were wishing they were running. We were constantly thinking about the next thing instead of living in the moment they were in. And if I could do anything over again, that's it. I would absolutely live in the moment more. I would give myself a minute to breathe in the space. And I don't know if it was because I was young or because I had two of them at once or what, but I definitely missed some things. And I regret that because I was just busy, right? But there's a big difference between busy and productive. Productive means that you are going to have something to show for it at the end. And busy for the sake of busy is just busy. So those 900 meetings that could have been an email, right? That's busy. One meeting that actually accomplishes the goals and does it quickly and allows everybody to go back and work on the thing, that's productive. So how do we create more productive joy? I don't have a wand. Actually, that's not true. I do have a wand. If you're watching, here's my wand. I bought it at the dollar store. It doesn't have any magical powers, however. I wish I had a wand that worked because I think that if I could wave a wand over all of you, I would, and I would give your green zone more clarity and I would let it last for 18 hours a day and all of that would be great, but we know that's not reality. Instead, we have to work within our means. So whether it was Brian teaching us about being efficient or Kate teaching us about how to take care of ourselves, where are you putting your energy? And how can you make sure that you're putting your energy in the right places so that you get the results you are desiring to get? So the last couple guests have really talked about having a clear target, right? That's what AIM does. AIM helps you set a target and then helps you analyze your current systems, improve on those systems, and move towards change. But if you don't set a clear target first, what are you doing, right? So I want to push you today to think about your targets. So here we are wrapping up the quarter. We are getting ready to launch into April of 2025. Crazy talk, how fast that happened. What do you want it to look like? Right? What are your plans for 2025? Not what's happening to you, because that is what it is, right? It's what are you allowing to happen? What are you orchestrating? What are you pushing towards? So my word for 2025 is grow. And I am using it in a lot of different ways. It's growth and growing too. But when I say grow, I mean I want to be getting better. Like if you think about it, when a plant grows, you can't watch a plant grow day by day because you won't see much shift. But if you come back a week later, you'll be amazed at the amount of growth that has happened. So it's kind of like planting the seeds and then leaving them and letting them take root on their own and watering them and taking care of them, but not fixating on whether or not you can see the growth. I picked the word grow because I think I have lots of areas where I could get better. And that's what I see as growth. Growth is looking at things and understanding where you are, but then choosing to improve instead of staying where you are. I'm not saying I felt stuck. I didn't, but I do really enjoy learning and I really enjoy growing and I really enjoy trying new things. And so when I say grow, I mean I'm going to push myself to experience all of that and see what happens. What's your word? Do you even remember? It was months ago that you created one. Or maybe you didn't. Maybe you didn't create a word this year and now it's March and almost April and you're like, you know what? I probably should. Doesn't matter. There's no grade, right? This is for you. So fun fact, I'm an educator. I know most of you know that at this point. And there is a big difference between pedagogy, the teaching of children, and andragogy, the teaching of adults. So somewhere around the age of 18, we shift from, is this for a grade? which is what pedagogy is surrounded by, right? Like that extrinsic motivation, to what's in this for me. That's that intrinsic motivation. So I'm going to challenge you to think about that a little bit. No, it's not for a grade. No, nobody's going to check to see if you picked a word or if you're focused on your goals. But I'm going to challenge you to think about what's in it for you. If you were to, for example, grow, or I have a friend whose word is grounded, like I am going to stay firmly grounded in my beliefs and my virtues and my values. Or maybe it's flourish. I want to get better. I want to see things more clearly. I want to grow in who I am. Whatever your word is, I'm challenging you to pick one and then work towards it. Because to me, that's productive joy, right? We're here together for productive joy, and you are choosing to tune in week after week, and you are learning great things. But what's changed as a result? Because if nothing's changed, then this is just a fun activity, a funtivity, if you will, and it's not changing practice. My hope is that it be a productive form of joy, which means that there is some sort of change in practice. So that's my challenge to you today, is to think about what needs to change for me. Maybe it's little, maybe it's big, maybe it's immediate, maybe it's futuristic, but I know you can do it. And I know when you do, you're going to feel not only good about it happening, but you're going to experience results beyond your wildest dreams. So I'm excited. And I hope that you'll tell me about it. So you can reach out to me any number of ways, any social media platform. If you just type in Productive Joy, you're going to find me. If you just want to type in my name, Dr. Christie McMullen, you'll find me there too. Or you can just go to my website, aimwithus.com, and all of those will work. You can also email me directly at Christie, CHRISTIE, at aimwithus.com. I want to hear from you. I want to know what you need and how I can help, but I also want to know what sorts of strides you're taking and how you're creating productive joy. So today and every day, my challenge for you is to figure out a way to turn fun into action.